All right, guys, here with Jack, coming from Florida, wanted to visit, do some content together. Let's check out Alexander Grace. Ooh.
I'm just kidding.
It's really interesting to see how shocked people are by the term tribe life and how they seem to think it's some new way of living, like it's some unprecedented new trend. Like, have you seen these millennial and Gen Z girls? They just want to be at home with their kids. They want to have husbands and they want to take care of their husbands. They want to cook and they want to clean and they want to wear dresses. It's insane. When in reality, it's literally like the oldest lifestyle in the world.
The women who criticize housewives as insane are jealous. They know that housewife women are superior to them. They are better, and rather than try and improve themselves to reach that level, they prefer to tear them down. Why do I say?
Why do you think women just hate on each other so much when it comes to these things?
I think it's programming. It's like the what is it? It's like monkey see, monkey do. It's why'd the chicken cross the road? Everyone else was doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly believe that, though. Like, I really do. Like I haven't had Netflix in a while, and I now that my girl moved in and I made her quit her job because it was making her too stressful. I didn't make her quit her job, but I said, hey, if you want to quit, you should. And you could make money doing something you actually like. Because I'm not going to say don't make money. If you want to make money, make money.
Yeah.
But she was climbing the corporate ladder, not because she was watching Sex in the City, but once you're out of it and you actually watch Sex in the City or you watch some of these shows, even for men too, like, we're kind of programmed into, I honestly believe that. But I put on Netflix recently and everything was sex this and sex that. And every show is about somebody getting out of a relationship and then like doing it themselves, like this kind of lone wolf thing. And I never thought anything about it until recently, mid-30s, Then I go, oh, it's kind of like, oh, okay. 40 years ago, they were promoting get married, have 7 kids to be slaves for the system. It's genius.
It's crazy because there's so many simps and men out there that kind of ruin it for everything. But
Guilty. I'm just kidding.
But they were also programmed that way.
Yeah.
This is the part where I think we're so harsh on simps and so harsh on men that aren't masculine, but society made it hard to be masculine. Even now,
Yeah.
You want to be masculine now, you're some misogynistic dick that fucking hates women.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, but at the same time, like, I don't look at it like the only thing that sucks is it goes both ways, though,
Yeah.
right? So let's say I'm with my chick and all I do is work, right? And then work's stressing me the fuck out. I don't see her all day. I get home and I'm done. I don't even want to talk. I'm over it. That relationship probably ain't going far because money is only going to do so much. Like, I think it's like a fine line because if my chick was working all day long, climbing this corporate ladder, and then by the time she gets home, she's just miserable and she doesn't even want to do anything. Next thing you know, it's like you're together, but you're not. You turn into kind of roommates. I've done this with a chick before. Like, I didn't live with her, but by the time I saw her at the end of the night, she was exhausted from working on her 8th day that week. And it just got to the point where it's like, we haven't even had sex in a week.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that you have two high-powered corporate people trying to mate with each other in some way, shape, or form. Because what time do you have to do those things?
No, I get it. The money's cool.
Yeah, money's always good, right?
You're superior.
I agree, actually, that housewives would be because
It makes sense.
you have to qualify to be a housewife, right?
You can't
because not everybody can be.
you can't be a housewife if you're working 6 days a week.
Correct.
It's impossible.
Which is a capacity to trust. When you stay at home, you are not developing your career. That's a lost opportunity for a woman. And as the feminist correctly,
It's true.
that puts her in a vulnerable position. She's dependent upon her husband for finance. So what's going to happen to her if the relationship breaks down? What happens if he becomes abusive? It's smarter to keep working. That way you have your own money. You always have a backup plan. I understand that this sounds like it makes logical sense, but don't you see that it's actually planning for failure? Instead of working towards your shared goals as a couple because you assume you're going to succeed, your energy is being siphoned off into your little side project, and that's a very ugly trait to have in a partner. Who wants to start a life together with somebody who assumes that the relationship is going to break down and is already taking action based on her individual interests? It's much more attractive to have a woman who is genuinely committed to you, who wants to make it work, even if things get difficult, because she loves you, because she trusts you. The two of you are partners now. It doesn't matter who technically earns the money. You're a team. It's for the both of you, because you're going to stay a team forever.
Has it ever been a team?
Well, I think so. Like my grandparents,
Okay, yeah.
it was a team. Towards the end, after you're together 70 years, I mean, you start sleeping in different rooms. Like, I kind of get it, you know? Like, when you're 80 years old, like, it kind of makes sense. It's kind of like,
even
scoot
the whole
over.
sleeping in the whole room thing, even now, it makes sense to me. I'm not a big fan of touching people when I sleep or just stuff. So, separate beds
I kind of get it. But, like, the whole, that he's right, though, this guy. I don't think I ever see this. This dude's pretty...
Alex?
I'm like learning something here. I'm yes, keep going.
This is probably one of the best channels out there that teaches men to look more insightful than laugh and make fun of women.
No. Yeah, I agree because I actually want kids and shit. So,
same.
Yeah. So, but it's the we thing, right? Everyone's like I. The biggest thing that I've ever learned from anyone who's been together forever, it's a we. So, like the money. If my chick's making money, bitch, get my money. Okay? I'm just joking, but at the same time, I'm not. Because
it makes sense.
Because she's also going to look at me, too, like, where's our money? But if she's out there making money, then I'm going to be like, where's Papa's dollars? You know what I mean? So, I'm just, but that's how it's supposed to be.
But now it's that happy wife, happy life, your money is my money is my money thing.
Yeah.
And it's dominant. It is the dominant idea, the dominant culture right now.
And then what he said though too is like people with the mindset of like, what if it doesn't work out? It's a real thing. It really is, because then it's like, what if it doesn't work out? And my solution to that is just don't have paperwork. Don't have like paperwork through the government. Like if let's say me and my chick get married, I already told her from Jump Street.
Good.
We can make our own little contract, but I'm not going through the government.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not. Because he's right. What if? Like, yeah, we could do we, all that. French, yes, we could do all that. But, if you decide to leave or I decide to leave, we should be able to kind of divvy up whatever we built together. Not just like come in and then I'm fucked in the butthole and then, by 7 men, a.k.a. the government.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That mindset is so much more attractive than the woman who gets married but already has one foot out the door.
Before this, they were just called stay-at-home moms, and before that, they were just called women. But now our society has gone so far.
That's fucked up.
I mean, it's true. Women, that's what stay-at-home mothers were, just women, right? There wasn't a stay-at-home mother thing. There wasn't these trad wives and, all these things.
No, it's just...
It's what women did.
It's French, right? Like, in extreme.
It's so weird, but these days, to be socially conservative, to believe in family values, that makes you counterculture. But that just makes the woman
like me and you.
lifestyle all the more attractive. Because by choosing a path that is different to all of her female friends, she has demonstrated independence of thought and an ability to resist pressure to socially conform. It's very impressive.
This is what you were talking about, like the sisterhood that they were programmed. That everybody
it's sex and
wants
in the
to
city,
follow, but
yeah.
only the few, and they can't not follow because they will get trashed.
Well, you know what's crazy too is like the stay-at-home dad thing, right? I know one of them's not a stay-at-home dad, but the wife makes a lot of bread. I mean, she be getting that money. Like he is really happy about it. Let's just say that, because it's our money, right, honey?
Yeah, okay, they actually can.
But I know another cat that's a stay-at-home dad. But the way I look at it is, I almost wouldn't doubt it if the woman will start resenting them. Maybe not though. I don't want to seem like negative like that. But what I'm saying is I'm looking at it and I'm like, damn.
You know, you're not
That's
wrong.
kind of like I'm sitting here feeling like the boss bitch who's like, I wish I had his life. You know, like for real though, I'm sitting there like, damn, homie's got it made.
Yep.
Like my boys is chilling. Like they doing great. Meanwhile, I'm out here trying to work for it, shaking my moneymaker. You know, I don't mind work. I like working as long as it's for
Same.
myself, and you know, and I enjoy what I'm doing. But it is kind of like when I look at it, I'm going, how could a chick be? I think it's almost jealousy, honestly.
It is.
Yeah, I think it's almost jealousy.
Well-
I'd be jealous.
Well, it makes sense because that's where they should be, right? That's how they see it. Like, man, you should be the one taking care of things. I should be the one with the kids. And traditionally, and how they were raised, that's how they've always seen things.
And then on top of that, too, though, I agree with you, but just how expensive everything is, it's almost kind of impossible for it to, you know, I'm in a position where I can afford to do it, but my chick's still like, hey, I want to like get money. And I said, look, get money all you want, but just learn how to do it on your own terms, like from the house and shit. Like, I don't want you to have to be clocking in somewhere 30 minutes away. For her own sanity, not for me. Just because it's like we're in a position where you can afford to make less money on your own and be happy doing it. But not everybody's got that situation. So it's kind of hard to say, like really think about it. It's almost kind of hard because what is every chick just going to go get some guy?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like what he says, that traditional wives, housewives, are somewhat better, you know, because they had to qualify for that lifestyle.
You kind of.
Everybody else, we have to work. Most women have to work.
Unfortunately, yeah. Well, cheers.
Will to step outside of the approval of their sisters and choose a life that's actually right for them. They need the protection of the herd. They must socially conform. It's sexy to be with a woman who has the courage to ignore the haters, to ignore the criticism and the shaming of her choices, to rise above all of the bitter women who are trying to tear her down, saying she's not a true feminist or whatever.
It's always women that do. I don't think us men are complaining about women wanting to be feminine and wanting to be housewives or anything. It's not us.
I think the closest thing to it is with guys is when, for instance, I do, you know, I'm sitting here, we're making money talking on a camera, right? I've had a lot of guys kind of brainwashed into, like, I get it too. I don't mind working 7 days a week. Hi ho off to work where I go or whatever. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I see a lot of dudes, it's the closest thing I can think to is when they work like 80 hours a week and they're doing like manual labor.
Yeah, okay.
But they misinterpret work for manual labor when really work does not mean manual labor.
Correct.
Work is it can be two different things. But like that's the closest thing I could see to it because I've gotten people be like, "Oh, you think you actually work, bro?" I'm like, "Dude, yes, I do. Believe it or not,
I get the same
it's a
thing.
lot of mental capacity to do. It's still a stressor and it's a task. You're completing a task. That's work. But I think it's the closest thing to men kind of almost getting jealous of other dudes. I think that's the only thing. When I'm sitting here like, bro, I wish I could build a house really nice and not have leaks in the roof, okay?
No, I agree. I envy carpenters and plumbers that they can do such of those tasks, and because it requires so much knowledge and skill.
Yeah.
But it's also that lifestyle of what we live and what they live, and the image of social media and what women like and stuff.
Yeah, when we're
It
all
sucks.
just trying to make money. That's
Yeah,
it.
That's it.
We have the same goal, right? And that's all it is. But that's the closest thing I see with men.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, no, there's no guy like how I said the two guys I know, basically living off the women. There's no guy out there that's gonna like. They might be a little jealous and be like, "Oh, homie, don't work. You can't provide for her." It's like, dude, I don't think you get it. Like he is now the bad bitch. He's now the housewife.
Yeah. Which is
Awesome.
Which is even to me more of a privilege because the opposite is
No
even
one,
less.
No one's doing that.
No one's doing
That's
that.
that's ground innovating stuff.
Yeah, innovating.
It's groundbreaking.
And she's happy, healthy, and brave enough to back her own judgment. And that's really, really attractive.
And I just think about how so many of us, since we were little, we were raised in this kind of boss babe feminist society that told us you can be so much more than just a mom. You can be so much more than just a wife. And so many of us listened and we, tried to climb corporate ladders and be boss babes so hard. Now, like, we're a little bit boss babed out. And some of us want to go out.
It's boss babed out. I get it, dude.
They act like as if men really wanted to keep working, and like
Hell no.
like if we had the chance to not work, I think every man would probably taken it, but we never had this chance, and women were given this privilege. We're born with this privilege, and they gave it up on purpose.
Yeah. Well, if you really think about it, like if I didn't want a relationship or have a kid or two, I could be big triple chilling, just hanging out. Like I'm talking barely work, like with this luxury. And I get where like blue collar guys kind of they don't really come at me because I support you guys. I think you should make more money than me, honestly.
I agree.
Which most of them, if they play their cards right, they will, and they do. But you also have to be a boss and own it. You have to be a boss bitch that can swing a hammer real well, not just suck one.
Yeah.
Now, down to brass tacks, gentlemen. What was I saying? Point is if I wanted to, like a lot of guys have kind of clocked out, right? You know what I mean? They don't want to work. They don't want to do shit. I get it. And if I wanted to do that, I could easily work 2 days a week, 3 days a week, talking to the camera, and I could get by chilling.
Same.
Easy. But I'm still choosing the hard route because I want a family and I want a kid and I want the bullshit and I want the risk that comes with it. And then, of course, no woman's just going to go stay with a guy who's just sitting on the couch all day and not trying, unless you're one of the few dudes who learns how to be, the house dad, which is very few and far between. And I have not located one of those women.
No, same.
So a little bit more back to our roots, to our ancestors, the women who came before us, and live a little bit more, like they did. And yes, we also appreciate cute dresses, the audacity.
The whole dress thing. How many women do you see in dresses nowadays? I hardly ever see any.
At least 7 a week.
Really? Oh,
I mean, that's low numbers.
7. Yeah, that is low
I
numbers.
mean, I'm out and about every day, so
That's true. Even out about every day for
I
me,
think
I barely see any.
I think they do, which I'm gonna pay attention. I'm gonna start looking out for that.
Well, it's because remember, it's a summer dress, and it's summer now. I still don't see people wearing it.
True.
Moms tell them whatever you want, but just know that
It's just leggings all over the place.
Yeah, leggings, butt cheeks.
in the feminist lifestyle onto women, there will always be women who naturally want a more traditional lifestyle, just like the billions of women who came before us.
I wish more women understood this, that it takes courage to be normal, to be mediocre, to be average. A simple stay-at-home lifestyle, nothing particularly notable or groundbreaking. You've got to be brave to do that. If you have low self-esteem and you feel like your true self deep down is something that you should be ashamed of, something unworthy, without much value, then your life will be spent overachieving, trying to be exceptional, trying to be above average, trying to make up for that self-esteem deficiency that you feel inside.
I feel like I do that now. With how much work it takes I put in right now.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like it's never enough.
It does.
I do get that. Yeah, I really do. But I get it. Like, I'm actually stoked. If you're making a good living right now, like, honestly, sometimes you just got to look at it and be like, thank you, God. Holy shit. Because a lot of people, man, it's not like we talk about being like, I'm a housewife and I'm a house dad. It's like, yo, you got to make some. You gotta be a whole fucking obtain that grain. You gotta have a whole loaf. You gotta own the bakery.
Yeah.
You really do. It's kind of like, so if you're making good money right now, it's almost like you gotta sit back and go, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? You almost gotta go, I'm doing it.
I got a smack of this week when I took my car in and just going through everything, and all my friends were talking to me and telling me just how proud they were and stuff. And I'm just like,
proud of you.
yeah, because they saw the car and, they know how much I make now and stuff. And they're just like, oh, I'm proud you're making it, you're doing it. And I just felt the way about it. I felt slimy about it.
You almost felt guilty?
Yes.
Yeah.
I felt like
I do, but I don't.
Ill-deserved of praise.
Okay, wait. How about this, though? Ask yourself this question, too. This is to the person at home. Do you work 7 days a week, or did you work 8 days a week if you're making good money? Right? I'm making great money, but the truth behind it is I went to work all day at a job I didn't really care for, and then got off work and then worked for more for free for a very long time.
Same.
7 days a week. Maybe I took a day off here and there. Maybe. But for the most part, 7 days a week, which turned into 8 days a week. We started breaking the calendar. We started breaking rules and shit. We was, adding hours to the day.
True.
And then I got to a point where I still feel like I'm working 7 days a week, but it's really only like 4 hours a day. And I could take time off. I could chill. I can hang out. I can go to the beach. I can get work done. Get up at 6. Be done by noon. I'm chilling. Or I could just take the day off and say fuck it. I'll just make a little less money this month. So I did feel guilty at first.
Okay.
A little guilty, just because you start making 6 figures. If you're even fortunate enough to ever do that, which took me till 34 to pull it off.
37 myself.
Yeah. So at the same time, I don't feel bad because the homie who's doing it too, however he's doing it, I get it. I know how hard that was. So at the same time, it's like pat yourself on the back, even when you're making 70 a year, like just to be able to get to that level, because a lot of people will never even hit 70 a year.
True.
Maybe with inflation they will. Everybody's gonna be making 70 a year because that's gonna be like the new minimum wage or something.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you could make that on government assistance. Okay, I'm just kidding. Probably not. Maybe.
That
But-
sounds so ridiculous.
But you shouldn't feel bad. I don't think so. Because it takes a criminal amount of work. And like I said, if I wanted to just skate by, I could easily work 3 days a week.
I mean, you're not wrong. If I
Easily.
wanted to skate by, I wouldn't do the shit I do and try to earn the ridiculous money that I'm trying
But
to
you have
earn.
2 jobs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, I have 2 jobs and I run a couple other businesses here, there, and then side hustles.
Yeah, dude. No one's really doing that. Most people aren't doing that.
I don't know. To me, I guess
Most people ain't doing that.
in my head, it's like, why?
Oh, wait, why do you do it?
No. Why aren't people? There's people that are in worse positions than I am that can get to where, not exactly get to where I am, but that can make more and do better. I don't see them doing it, but I'm doing okay,
Well, that's
and I
because
still keep pushing.
well, that's because you believe in yourself.
Oh,
So, like, I believe in myself, so I can believe in you, a person I don't know through a camera on the other side of the internet, through a screen here. I could believe in you. I don't even know you. And I could believe in Red because I believe in myself.
No, you opened up my mind right there. You're right. I do believe in myself and my abilities to be able to achieve certain things. So,
Yeah.
oh,
How many times have you heard somebody, for real, though, go, well, you can't do that?
it's every day.
I go, no. You can't do that.
Mm.
I'm not going to actually say that to them because I don't care.
Yeah.
I just go, yeah, sure, maybe I can't. But all they're saying to me is they can't do it. That's all they're saying to me.
Project. Okay.
Yeah. Because in me, somebody goes, you should start, like, people shoot down ideas. They're like, oh, I'm going to open up a coffee shop. And they go, dude, fucking Starbucks. You'll never make it. And then you tell me you're going to start a coffee shop. I go, dude, good idea. People are addicted to that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it like that's a good idea.
See, I'm the middle guy. Someone tells me that, I'm like, sounds okay. Let's look at the numbers.
Yeah, look at the
And
numbers.
Can you do it? And you have the ability to do it. And is your coffee good?
Yeah,
That's
look-
why I go through all that.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And when you meet that, I'm all supporting you.
Of course,
So-
yeah.
So I'm
I'm not gonna say quit your job, but just I like to look at it like when someone has the audacity to go, I go, yes,
I like it.
you can.
I see a corporate woman dressed up in like a business suit, working 6 days a week.
Oh yeah,
Making that money
Your girl?
I'm just kidding. Oh shoot,
She used to, right?
feels so deficient inside that she's spending her life trying to prove that she's better than average. That's what's so attractive about a woman who's content to be a housewife. You can just feel the health of her self-esteem. You can measure the health of somebody by the smallness of the things that bring them happiness. If you're a boss babe and you're only happy if you get 3 promotions a year and you prove that you can outwork your male colleague and you can meet every deadline and you can complete every assignment, if only in those conditions that you're happy, then you sound absolutely exhausting to be around. So much
Sound like a man.
yeah.
housewife and a stay-at-home mom and it brings you pleasure to just see like a cute dress and get to put it on, or you're happy when you see like a bird in your garden or just playing with your baby, when you're able to enjoy the little things in life, that makes you so much more attractive. Speaking of the little things in life, this is what I ate for breakfast. And by eating meals like this, I was able to lose 10 kilograms in 6 months. Lost stuff from my life all through September. You want access to that? Come over to picture. Okay, back to the video.
Call us crazy, but we like babies. We want to have babies. We want to spend the very few years that we have of them being little with them.
This is probably the biggest thing that I've noticed is growing up. Every woman, when we were growing up, loved kids, wanted to hold kids, wanted to kiss kids, all of this, play with kids. Now, oh my God, ugh, kids.
You know what's funny is, it's like sex is for sport.
Yes,
Hey,
you are
you
100%.
Sex is now a sport.
Yeah,
That's when really, it's kind of like sex is like the point
yeah.
of. That's how I came about. That's how Red happened. Believe it or not, my parents were in the bedroom, do the hokey pokey, let it all hang out, and then I came about. You know what I mean? So I gotta put these glasses away. I just wanted the effect. But that's kind of the funniest part, is that sex is literally
For
for
kids.
recreation, when in fact it's actually so that we could all be here right now.
Pretty much.
That's the funniest part.
Yes, no, we take sex so for granted nowadays.
If you're a guy that's able to have sex.
True.
This is true.
When a man says, I want my future wife to be a stay-at-home mom, I want her to stay home with the kids, a feminist type woman is likely to shame him. You want to control women? You want to lock her up in the home?
Oh, that's a little odd.
Only exist to make babies?
I hear it.
How fucked
Yeah,
up
it's
is
true.
that? There's such a negative interpretation of his preference. Could it not be that men just love their children and want what's best for them? One of the prime ways that fathers show love to their children is in choosing a good woman to be their mother. If you want what's best for your children, then you want them to be raised by a woman who is feminine, nurturing, loving, a woman who likes children, who wants to spend time with them, who enjoys it, because obviously that's what's best for your kids. The human brain from birth develops by human interaction. Having a devoted mother who loves you, talks to you, who cuddles you, who plays with you, who spends all of that one-on-one time, that's so much superior to the experience that a baby is getting if they're put into daycare amongst 30 other children and there's like 3 adults. The early years are so important for attachment. Building a child's sense that they are valuable, that they are loved, that they are safe in the world. The research is clear. If you put a child in daycare too early, it damages their cognitive skills. And they're more likely to act out and be angry later on. And as a dad, it's on you too. Absolutely. Spend your weekends playing with your children. Expose them to healthy masculinity. But of course men are going to find women who want to be mothers, who like children, who enjoy that aspect of their femininity and attraction. We want the best for our children. That's why we have that preference. And I get
No, that makes sense. This is a reason why I don't want a quite overweight. She can be a little bit chubs, but a quite overweight woman. Because
Thick
her-
mama.
Yeah, because her eating habits are definitely going to translate to the kids. That was the biggest thing about me and like the weight of my partner was your eating habits are going to translate to your. If you ate fast food all the time, what are you going to feed the kids?
Well, yeah. Well, if you look at it, most fat people, no offense,
Yeah.
aside from being addicted to food, I get
Yeah.
it. I was addicted to cigarettes. I understand. Mine was just, it wasn't food.
Yeah.
But yeah, I noticed that with a lot of fat people, usually their parents are fat. You rarely see, like, I don't think it exists. Just 2 skinny people have a kid and the kid's just fat at 12. It doesn't happen. If
True.
it does, send us some proof here. Oh, it turns out they're adopted. That's what it. No, I'm just kidding.
No, even you're right because my mom
Doesn't
is
happen.
overweight and my dad is skinny. I grew up skinny. My brother and sister both grew up overweight.
Bingo. Proof is in the.
Just anecdotal from my end, but yeah.
No. I get it.
We like cooking, we like running our home, we like supporting our husbands and having good marriages.
I know it's a shock because it runs counter to all of the propaganda that we've been fed, but some women enjoy being in a supportive role. That's what they want. That's where they're comfortable. That excites them. Being feminine, cooking delicious meals for her family, Maintaining a beautiful, tidy home, that's enjoyable, certainly more enjoyable than the corporate grind and all the hustle and stress of working a 9 to 5. And women who can openly express that they have this preference, that they enjoy doing these feminine duties, those women are very attractive because they know themselves. They're in touch with their own femininity, their womanhood. It means that they understand gender difference. Long-time subscribers of my channel know that this is what I advocate. A healthy, rational understanding of the differences between men and women. Because when you understand that men and women are not the same, when you are dividing up the tasks of life, you can take each gender's strengths and weaknesses into account when making those decisions. A man is masculine.
Can you imagine now that
Blasphemy.
Yeah,
The fact that
blasphemy.
he thinks men and women are different genders. Sick son of a bitch.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
just joking. I'm just
It's so
joking.
crazy.
I'm kidding.
I watch at the Whatever podcast sometimes, and then I hear them debate, and they're debating the most basic topics that we learned in school when me and you were going to school. And I'm just like, wait. Why are these debates? What is going on to the next generation that they've lost so much knowledge, or they've been brainwashed so much
Well,
that they don't even know what's going on?
I think the funniest part is like internet versus reality.
Mm.
Like in reality, when I'm outside and I'm walking around, people aren't just walking around with 3 penises.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like people aren't just walking around like everybody's a rainbow or something. You know, like and like, that's really not the case. Like, so that's another thing too that I feel, and a lot of people are afraid to call bullshit on it. Which I'm even afraid to call bullshit on it. I think it's all great. Do your thing. You know what I mean? I don't care. Do you? Like, I don't want to lose my job and my money and end
Yeah.
up homeless because of my opinion. You know, whether you agree or you don't. But yeah, dude, sometimes I'm baffled. Like the whatever podcast, I'm just like, what? You know, I'm kind of like, this has got to be on where are they finding these people?
I agree. I feel these women are
Jesus.
purposely being ignorant just for content, but sometimes I'm looking at them and I'm like looking at their faces. No, they're genuinely like processing this information.
I think a lot of people don't realize. Also, you know what? To be fair, some men just want to be solo.
True.
They just do. Some women, they just want to be solo. They do. And I think I think it's always been kind of that way. I think a lot of people were pressured into getting married, and a lot of those things failed. I think a lot of people with the pressure of their family, just like a pressure to get a job that you don't even want. It's classic. It's the same thing happens with, when are you gonna have his grandkids? It's your turn next. You know, and then like people who don't even want kids are like, oh God, I'm next. Help.
I want kids, but my family's like that. So I was married for 12 years and got divorced, and they're just like,
That's right.
she wasted your years. Now you don't even have a kid. That's how my family sees me as a major failure because I don't have kids now. And I got a divorce.
But you're 37, yeah?
I'm 37.
So
But not to them,
but
it's old.
But it's not too late.
Yeah, it's not too late.
It's not too late.
Yeah, but to them, because I don't have.
Yeah, you're
every
dead.
time they no, not my
You're
my
fucked.
aunts.
Oh no.
All of my aunts. My dad doesn't push too much, but obviously he wants it.
Well, he
but-
knows. Well, your dad knows that your dad owns a businessman, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something that's like something to think about. I noticed that my parents kind of let me choose. They more like, my dad more just kind of like, he'll learn by watching.
Uh-huh.
You know, like he'll make his own decisions. Hopefully he makes a decision in this way. My mom would always do the same thing too, kind of like, what do you want to do?
Oh, okay.
But anytime I've seen parents where they're like super strict on their kids, the kids go the opposite way. And they turn into, yeah, like I'm not saying they can't bounce back and get a good life or make a good living, but it's kind of always the opposite. So for me, I just felt like I had all this freedom, and my parents were like, he's such a good kid. He's such a hard worker. I'm like, I am? And then I start believing I am. Instead of like my parents going, you don't do enough, you don't do this, you don't do that. Then I feel like kids start going, oh man, I'm a loser, you know. But it's like you never even had a chance to think for yourself.
Man, you just blew my mind right now. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's because growing up during like middle school, high school, elementary school, I felt like a loser.
Isn't that crazy?
I felt inadequate. I've even told this to my counselor.
A 12-year-old feels like a loser.
Yeah, I felt I was so inadequate.
What a world.
So, but But when I look back now, all of my friends that had an easier life, and then my inadequate ass, there's totally different now. Too,
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah. If you think about it too, the programming back that up, I get messages all the time, DMs, 21-year-olds, 23-year-olds. I can understand when a 30-year-old hits me up and go, "Hey, I feel like a loser because I'm still behind living in my mom's basement." I get that. But when a 20-year-old hits me up and says, "I feel behind in life," I just go, "What?" When I was 20, I looked at a 34-year-old and said, "You're basically dead, dude. You're a loser." Like, literally, that's how I looked at it. But now, the 20-year-old, I'm like, how do you feel behind at 20? That's where society is. But that's the internet versus reality. In reality, you're 20. Keep that in your back pocket. Hold on to that shit.
No, I agree. Damn, you're making me rethink some things now. Like,
I just didn't have these pressures.
even when
I didn't have these pressures.
So people will hit me up for DMs and stuff, like same as you, but I feel for them because I get it.
Yeah, see, you're on that side of the fence. I'm like,
so I'm like, oh, I understand. This is what you probably should do because this is what I did to kind of get out of that. So I'm like, well, fuck, let's help get you out. You're in the boat, like, you're not even in anything.
yeah. My parents were like, my dad would own his own business, and my dad would go, it took me forever to figure it out. You just gotta learn how to manipulate the money. Don't let it manipulate you. And I'd go, what? You know, like, but it made sense later. It made sense a lot later, but I think since it took him so long, it gave me the freedom to be like, I got plenty of time.
Oh, no, I got it.
And my mom, too. My mom was like, well, I didn't have a kid till I was 34. You got plenty of time. You know, so, like, they gave me this sense of, like, you're good.
Me, my mom had me at 18. My
Yeah.
dad was 20-something.
My mom was almost twice your mom's age.
Yeah. And we were in Cambodia for 5 years. Then we came here, struggled, and
Totally different life.
so my parents were like, work, happiness, lighting, ambiance wasn't a fucking thing.
Yeah, see, it's so funny because people also look at me, though, like they don't realize, yes, I had the perfect white upbringing. Okay? Christmas vacations. It snowed every Christmas, even though I lived in Florida. I had exactly what you would think if you look at me. Exactly what you'd think. Didn't struggle. Christmas presents, birthday presents. I need a skateboard, clothes, shoes, whatever. Gucci. Smooth. But what happened to me, mine was in reverse. 19 hit. 2008 was right there. Dad lost his business. He was also a pill addict, and he fell victim to pills and alcohol. Parents split up because of that. Dad lost his entire business. At 19, my dad came to me and said, Jack, I need $1,200 to rent a trailer in a trailer park. Remember what I just told you about, like, suburb shit? Now we're going to the trailer park. And I had to give him money for his rent. So mine didn't happen. Mine happened in reverse. And then a year after that, I got a felony for selling weed. Okay? So I went from easy peasy, beautiful, breezy cover girl, all that, to fuck, it's go time. Dad's in a trailer. Mom is now a single mom, and she's out of money too now. She kept her job. She was The Rock, but she's only making $60,000 a year. It's not like she's, you know, King Tut's girlfriend or something. You know what I mean? Like, so mine happened in reverse. But luckily, I also, you know, my 15th birthday, you might be able to resonate with this. You probably had it at the age of 10. But my 15th birthday, in the birthday card, we had a birthday party, presents and shit. It was awesome. But in the birthday card, it said, P.S. I got you a job at Domino's. You start next Monday. And my dad, I already worked with my dad for 3 years prior to that. During the summers, I'd go help him with his business, which was basically just like, I'm the son, and I get to show up and make more than regular adults as a kid. But, you're right. But I was taught very early, like, here's what money is. And you're going to have to learn about it a little bit, enough.
So I was raised that way. And you're right. When someone's raised so, how I always say it, when you rule with an iron fist and you grasp so hard, shit just slips out of your fucking
Yep.
grasp.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And that was me. My dad just grasped so hard. I railed against it.
Yeah.
Railed against it hard. So in my 20s, everything, got married, fucked up, got to jail for weed also, did all these stupid things, attempted so many businesses and failed miserably.
Yep.
But then now
Guilty.
I picked back up and I'm like, oh, if I would have just listened and kind of went about what my dad kind of like
A little
set
bit.
out a little bit, I'd probably be so much better off. But we never know, right?
You
But-
you never know. You really don't. Because a lot of times, too, think about it like this. If you're fortunate enough for your parents to own a business, a
Yeah.
family business, how many kids are actually going to want to take over that business?
None.
And then if
Usually.
they do, they don't really realize what they have, some of them. And then if
Yes.
they do, some of them probably just sell it. They want the money. But a lot of times that's not even the case anymore. A lot of people don't have the luxury. I'll call it a luxury because it's like monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
The chicken crossed the road. Everybody else was doing it. So for me, growing up, and to think about it, my closest friends, 2 of them, their dads own businesses. And guess what? They all
They
now
own-
own their own business.
What is this?
Not their dad's business, but it took us forever to kind of figure it out. But it's because it's like, oh, he could do it.
Yes, you have a immediate model
Yeah.
in front of you.
Yeah, I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Even though I couldn't, and I failed a bunch too. But that's not the point. The point is you're delusional enough to go, I can do that. When most parents are like, go to school, get a safe job, do this, and then you feel like a loser if you go against that because I want my parents to be happy of me because I played it safe.
Mm-mm.
But now playing it safe is actually taking a risk is playing it safe now.
Yeah.
It's all backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
It's classic.
classic.
Working outside, doing physical labor. He likes using his strength, so it makes sense that he mows the lawn, he fixes the car, he fights off the attackers. And understand that a woman is feminine. She likes the small details. She likes making things beautiful and nurturing others. So it makes sense that she decorates the house. She plans the meals. She cleans the things that her husband never seems to notice. The differences between men and women do not mean that one is better than the other, or that one gender should be working harder than the other. It just means that men and women should cooperate with each other in a genuine partnership. And it's very attractive when you meet a woman who understands this principle. So if you're dating a woman who aspires to be a housewife, lots of men find that attractive. Because you can be confident that when you're dividing up your life between the two of you, assigning roles and responsibilities, household tasks, that she's going to be rational about it. She's capable of understanding that men and women are different. And that for things to be equal, they don't need to be identical. Now, for the rest of this video, I'm going to talk about my own personal relationship, which I don't do very often. But I think my circumstances can be related to by lots of men. Because even though we lean heavily into gender differences, my partner has been studying while also being a mother. I work from home. I'm a YouTuber, so I spend a lot of time with my daughter. This is not a 1950s style relationship.
This is what I do admit about our careers. When we do have families, we get to put some focus and time into them.
I kind of am the stay-at-home dad bad bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, but at the same
But we
time,
make our own money with staying at home.
well, for me, like the YouTuber thing, that wasn't really a thing 10 years ago when
It wasn't,
because I was
yeah.
doing stand-up comedy. Although you're like, stand-up comedy, you've been serious this whole time. Whatever, okay? That's not the point. The point is when I started, it was kind of like gatekeepers, all this shit. So it took me a long time to even be able to make a living. And I'm not even just in it for this short-term thing. I'm in it like, I'm probably going to be in it for a decade or two.
Same.
And it might change. Things change. I don't know. I don't know. But I've been in it so long that if you would have said, hey, do you think you'd be talking about serious topics on YouTube sitting down? And some guys, like, if you told me that 10 years ago, I'd be like, good one, dude.
Same.
Take a fucking hit. Or like, chill out, bro.
I-
Chill out, dude.
I didn't even consume YouTube till probably the last few years of my life.
Oh,
so-
I've been watching YouTube since Jump Street.